Hi, and welcome to day 28 of my personal self-improvement challenge. Today I am giving up processed foods. Processed foods. I had a friend give me a really good tip on what processed counts as, because there's some things that come in jars that aren't necessarily processed. And a good rule of thumb for processed foods are it's processed if they took something out or they put something in. So if it comes in a jar and it's like the one or two ingredient, it's like the main ingredient, and they didn't mess with it or change it, they didn't take anything out, they're not dumping a bunch of different additives in, then it's probably good to go, even though it's not straight off of the tree or something like that. So that's what I'm going for. One of the main reasons I'm quitting processed foods is partially because I've always had a go-to method. I have some roommates who could vouch and tell you how bad I was with their condiments when I was being lazy or not looking after myself, not going out and working, not getting food. I could eat a jar of mayonnaise with a loaf of bread in a day, and so that's that. It's that instant gratification. Dopamine hit. I want something now. I don't want to put any time into making myself, a proper breakfast or lunch or something like that. So, I'm trying to curb my dopamine addiction, and by cutting off that instant gratification thing. So having easy to make foods that are heavily processed, I'm just going to cut that out. I'm sure there's a lot of good health benefits to doing so, but also just voting with your dollars. Who are these companies that are making these products and mass producing them and sending them out all over the country? Where's that money going? What are they doing with it? Whereas where I go to that's the farmer's market or something like that, then I know that my money's going straight to that farm that's like within 100 kilometers. So buying some bulk main ingredients. I live with some Greek folks, so they have a pretty good line on olive oil and stuff like that. So I'll be buying a couple things more in bulk, and then making my own sauces and putting them in a jar, so I have my salad dressing for the week made up, or whatever, or maybe a couple different varieties. But I know how to make sauces. I'm a mean sauce maker. I just been lazy. So yeah, cutting out processed foods. And what I'll be replacing this with is, and again, this is one of those serendipitous things, is that I've signed up for this 6-week kickboxing fitness challenge where they have a meal plan designed for me, and a workout regime of like 3 or 4 days, like at least minimum 3 days a week. So meal planning was one of the things I was going to replace this processed food business with. So I've already got that. It's starting on Monday. So starting on Monday, I'll have my meal plan down. There's beautiful gardens here, which I haven't had too much time to be in because I've been working full time. So I'm gonna give the boss another week. So I gave him my 2 weeks and a bit. It'll be 3 weeks, I guess. Which after all that money I spent on supplements yesterday, I could use another week of work anyway. So so meal planning, gardening, getting out in the garden. If you're barefoot, if you walk around barefoot, or if you get your knees, you get down into the soil, you're working with the dirt with your hands, that's one of the really good ways to get minerals and B vitamins and a couple other things into your system, as well as grounding your body out from electromagnetic frequencies that build up in your body like a charge when you're insulated from the ground with your rubber shoes. So so getting into the garden is gonna help me with that. It's gonna ground me out, bring me closer to nature, give me some minerals and vitamins, and also bring me closer to my food. And I'm gonna start developing a direct relationship with my food by being in the garden more after work is done. And then, of course, skip processed foods and go completely the other way, not just by giving up, but by giving up food altogether, intermittently. So intermittent fasting. In Systema, I learned that fasting 1 day a week is really good for you, or a couple of days, at least, almost a week out, from 4 days to a week out of every month, you could just not eat. And there's different ways that people can do it. You can fast throughout the day and then just eat one meal in the evening, or you could just give up a day for 24 hours or 48 hours or even 72 hours, just give up eating, because your body can do a whole bunch of things, clean itself out. It's not always overwhelmed. We eat food for energy and nutrients to keep ourselves going, but digesting food also requires a lot of work. And if you're confusing your body with a whole bunch of different ingredients, then it has a hard time assimilating and eliminating. And so we think about it this way. When we lived naturally with the world and we didn't have very good ways of storing things for long periods of time, when apples came into season, that's what we ate for a long time. When blackberries came into season, when nettles came into season, when it was hunting time, we ate that stuff mostly in a row. And your body develops, gets better at digesting that in the first couple of days. Now it's like super solid. It can get everything out of those apples. And then you move on to the next thing and your body readapts again. So again, one of the reasons to get away from processed foods is by the time you put your mustard, your mayonnaise, your ketchup, your relish all on there, there's 20 ingredients. So it might taste nice, but our mouths are also fried from the salt and the sugar. So that's another reason that I'm giving up processed foods, is I want to re-educate my palate and get one of those kind of like chef palates where I can actually tell the difference between this beet and that kind of beet and a turnip and a whatever. Most people can already tell the difference between a beet and a turnip. So yeah, processed foods, letting it go, getting rid of that instant gratification, picking up meal planning, gardening, and fasting. With the rule of thumb, if they didn't take anything out and they didn't put anything in, it's probably safe to eat. So that's day 28. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got my new suspenders on. I'm giving up the belt. I never had hips. I never had hips for belts, and I think that part of I've had constipation on and off for years, and I think that part of the reason is, well, I don't eat enough vegetables, but another reason is belts. I don't like them. I've always liked suspenders, and I always admired my grandpa wearing them. So I don't know. Girls, you're just gonna have to adapt, I guess. Some people like them. I'm also gonna look at getting high-waisted pants, because I like the older style where it was the Swedish style or something, where it's up a lot higher, and when you wear your tool belt, it's actually below on the pants and not just like pushing down on top of them. So yeah, feeling really okay. So I've had a lot of energy. But I'll say this. Last night I had insomnia for the first time in years. And it wasn't a bad insomnia. I just had so many ideas and so much excitement about the things that are coming up for me. I'm actually getting really excited about, like, I have so much to do now. I have so many things that I want to accomplish. I have to really start focus. Before, I had to really focus on my schedule because I had to make sure that I didn't fall into addiction. Now I have to stick to my schedule almost even more disciplined because I have so much that I want to pack into my days. I really want to make sure I get the most out of every day I'm on this beautiful earth. And I actually have paints, I have my guitar, I have letters to write, I have books to read, I have plays to script, I have research to do, and I have walks to go on and people to see. So I'm feeling very excited, but I don't have a jittery sense of energy about anything right now. I'm feeling my energy is full. My tank feels full, but it's not anxious. It's not buzzing like coffee or a stimulant gives you. I just have a grounded, consistent energy and motivation and drive right now. And I highly recommend anyone who's if you're not feeling up to snuff, there's still lots of time in spring right now to make a few changes. And I tell you, I was watching 7 to 8 hours of TV every day, going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 7 and going to work, hating my job, feeling physically uncomfortable, feeling sick, feeling depressed, feeling what's the point, why am I eating food, everything was a chore. Nothing felt good. Just lots of depression. Just consuming any kind of distraction. And that was like a month ago. That was a month and a half ago. The moment that I chose to adult and look after the pitiful side of me and force myself to do things just like a parent would, time to go to bed, time to whatever, making restrictions for yourself. And that's an easy way to visualize it. If you don't think you can do it for yourself, identify with the adult taking care of the child in you. And that's actually what worked for me. And it's an illusion. Your depression, your fear is an illusion. And I don't mean to say that you're not depressed or not in fear. I just mean that it can seem very overwhelming. When I was suicidal a bunch of years ago now, and suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But at the time, it seemed like the reasonable thing to do, because nothing else seemed to make sense. And it wasn't that it was a chemical imbalance. It's partly that, but it's partly created and fostered by the activities that you do to nourish your soul and your mind and your heart and your body. So choosing to adult and take care of yourself and push yourself out of your rut. You can push yourself out of your rut, but you have to exercise like I did. I've been exercising. I'm going on a super bender kick now, and cut out that flow of garbage coming into your mind through this black mirror. This is what this is, So yeah, if everyone's feeling like they could benefit from this, I'm telling you, you've got everything that it takes. I'm here to support you if you need. Don't hesitate to reach out. And I got 2 more days here, and then I'm on to other bigger and better things. So thanks for watching. Hope everyone enjoys your day. Have a good day. It's Sunday, so get out there. It's a little rainy, but I think I'm gonna go down to the beach next. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.